Let the dancing begin. Well, I didn't see that. Let the dancing begin. Let the dancing begin.
Gemini 4, it will be one.
Let the dancing begin.
What is this crazy rock and roll music?
Let the dancing begin.
Hello.
Hit it.
Let the dancing begin.
Okay, number 1 and 2 source.
Let the dancing begin.
Coolant leak detected.
Hit it.
Let the dancing begin.
All systems are a go.
Hello, check it. So, hello. Hey Ed, thanks for coming.
Awesome.
And Daniel as well. This is, once again, this is EDNJ Radio. I'm your host, Josh Cross. And we also have, here we have Ed Cawthon and Daniel Gee of EDNJ Publishing. We have Ed, who is a songwriter of BMI, and he also is with Warriors Rest. He has come here to talk about how he got into songwriting and also the ins and outs of being a songwriter. And here we have, want to just play one of his songs really quick. And this is Bold Bad Boss.
How many of y'all have had a bad relationship? Crush, controlled, put down, pushed around. Yep, enough's enough, cut your loss. Be your own boss, be bad, be bold. Get fired up now, fly, let your story be told. Oh, you're bold, B-O-L-D, you're bad, B-A-D, and you're boss, B-O-S-S, bold, bad boss. Fortune favors the bold, oh, bad breaks the mold, yeah, boss. We're talking gone, love warriors rebound, oh, take the high ground, recover, love another, bring it on. You're bold, B-O-L-D, you're bad, B-A-D, and you're boss, B-O-S-S, bold, bad boss.
Yeah.
All right, that was Bold Bad Boss with Ed Cawthon. And we are Facebook Live right now. Hey, Shelby, thank you for joining. And hey, Tyler, how's it going? So we are EDNJ Radio. I'm your host, Josh Cross. I have here Daniel and Ed Cawthon of EDNJ Music Publishing, and we have come here to talk about Ed Cawthon's Bold Bad Boss song, and also how he became a songwriter and his ins and outs of being a songwriter. So, how's it going, Ed?
Awesome.
Yeah, and Daniel?
Doing well.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
So I just want to jump right into it because, the song we just played, it's really, really positive. If you could tell us a little bit about that song.
Yeah, Bold Bad Boss. I write a lot of woman empowerment songs, and I have 4 daughters, and I think that type of music is, it's something really interesting in your repertoire. And so, anyway, Bold Bad Boss is a woman empowerment song, and I came up with the title one morning and bounced it off my wife, and she thought I was crazy, but no, but it all that's how it started. And it's about if you've had a bad relationship, what you should do. And if you listen to the song, it's a book on exactly what to do. Basically, get out of it. So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, and you were also pitching this to Kelsey Ballerini. Is that right?
I've pitched this around Nashville for a while now, and it always gets good reception. But again, it's very difficult to have an outside song break into the record company.
And Ed, if you could tell us a little bit about how you became a songwriter.
Yeah, well, I started. I'm a retired colonel in the Marine Corps, and when I got out,
Thank you for serving.
thank you. I had some issues, I had a lot of problems, and I took a better approach to solving problems with writing, and my writing started getting better, and then I joined the Nashville Songwriter Association International, NSAI, and things went from there.
Oh, that's really cool. And at NSAI, NSAI is a union that helps songwriters. It's kind of a community base, and they are very pro-songwriter. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience at NSAI?
Yeah, NSAI is really everybody that come into Nashville has dreams of being an artist and a songwriter should stop in an NSAI and join. It's a great organization. Their two missions basically is to go to Capitol Hill and educate everybody on how important songwriting is, and two is they internally help songwriters through their craft and hold a lot of different venues like Song Camp, and now it used to be called Spring Train, but it's Pan Alley Week now, and during that time frame. So NSA is a positive place for everybody, and I highly recommend everybody going. It really turned me into the type of songwriter that I'm becoming.
That is very cool. Very cool. And so, how do you get some of your songs? Like, how do you write some of your music?
Yeah, well, for me, a lot of it is just the creative idea. To me, one of the most important things about songwriting is having a creative idea. And at that point, I always have an idea that starts in my head with a melody. I hear the melody in my head, so I sing that. And then it goes into the arranging part. And that's one place I'm not a duty expert, is on actually professional arranging the song. So I get a couple friends to help me professionally arrange it after I get my melody and get those chords down. And you know, nowadays you better be on the professional level. So, you know, if you don't have all the talents in your toolkit, you know, you got to reach to all the pros that are around and your friends that have those and can help you out. So that's
yeah. So the quality of your songs that you have on Song You, and it's in impeccable quality. Where do you go? You outsource your songs and have them recorded?
Yeah, my process is I start with my work tape, and then I actually get help, like I said, on arranging to get it up to a professional level. And then I go into the studio and I use a Beard Music Group right here located in Nashville. I consider them the best in the world, and it's wonderful. You come in and they're really cheap price for probably some of the greatest.
As far as like ones, if you were going to cut an EP, how much?
Yeah, they have special deals on EPs for artists, which is really thing. It's you don't quote me, but you can go on their line, but it's just a few $1,000s for the whole day, and it's amazing because, you know, there's a lot of places in Nashville you can go, but Beard Music Group is a family. They treat you like a family, and it's almost one-stop shopping. I go in there, and pretty much a lot of times in that same day, I will chart with Larry or whoever the leader is. Then we'll track, and then we'll bring the vocalists in and apply the vocals to the track, and then we'll mix it, and I'll walk out with a CD.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So Daniel, if you can tell me just a little bit about EDNJ Publishing and what EDNJ Publishing does here in Nashville.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we are a publishing company that wants to get emerging songwriters such as like Ed, his stuff out on, you know, basically to the public, to the people. And you know, we have a different bunch of methods that we want to do. We want to like get them, you know, EP cuts and stuff. We want to get them airplay, like live radio stuff, kind of like what we're doing now with live Facebook, just any kind of exposure that we can do to really enhance him as a songwriter, because we here at EDNJ really believe in him. We really think that he's got some good talent, some good stuff.
So, and that was Daniel Gee of EDNJ Music Publishing. If you guys are just tuning in, I am Josh Cross, your host at EDNJ Radio. We are with Ed Cawthon of Warriors Rest and EDNJ Music Publishing, and also Daniel Gee of EDNJ Music Publishing. We are talking about Ed, how he became a songwriter, and how his ins and outs of his songs. So,
yeah, I can go over that process for everybody as an artist or a songwriter. Everybody works on their work tape, and then once I get it to the work tape level again, getting it professionally looked at is very important for me. And then by the time it goes through the demo process, it's just an amazing piece of work. You have the best session players, musicians in the world, in my opinion, right here in Nashville. I know a lot of them. I work with them. Greatest bunch of guys, and it's just amazing what the energy in Nashville. You can feel it, and that's why we're all drawn here, because we all know it's a calling. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't a calling, and it's important how you take your calling, and music is music business. So you got to understand the music business side of music, and that's what's really important if you're an artist or artist-songwriter.
So I was seeing that you had a couple co-writes that you have done here in Nashville. Kind of explain the process of how you guys go about setting up a co-write, and who comes in and what you guys do.
Yeah, well, co-writing's really interesting. It's really a way of life in Nashville. I write a lot of songs by myself, and I think a lot of songwriters are always writing. And sometimes the songs I'm writing by myself turn into co-writes. You have a good start on something. But co-writing is co-writing with your friends and fellow professional songwriters. When you're first starting out, you have to write by yourself, and then you write with friends, and that's the way it should be, because you should come up with your peer group. You shouldn't expect to write with Craig Wiseman or Shane McAnally. That's just dreaming a little too high there. And plus, it's not appropriate. Everybody comes up with their peers, and that's what we're doing now. I'm a senior at Belmont, and some of the artists that are going to be some of the great artists in our world are going to school right now. And the history of Belmont shows that, from writers to artists, that I could sit here and name them. So that's the whole point, is that you want to write with your peer group and grow up with those people. And it's people that I know through out in town through different songwriting establishments, NSAI, people that play out at the different venues around town, and that you become friends and you co-write. And that's kind of how it breaks down.
Yeah, like what I have seen some of the Belmont students at the listening room that they had gone on with songs I forget, and they just covered the Keith Urban song, and they're on the Today Show, and getting a lot of reception from there. But yeah, basically growing up with your peers and getting involved is a really, really big thing here in Nashville. You don't want to start knocking on doors, because it is a very relationship-based city as well as Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, it's very difficult out there because it's called unsolicited music. They don't want that, and there's a lot of legal reasons for that. But once you develop relationships and people see how hard you're trying out there, and they like your style and your music and your brand, and again, it's like a family. It starts with a relationship, and then it turns into great songs being recorded by great artists.
And if you are just tuning in, I am Josh Cross. I am your host of EDNJ Radio. We have Ed Cawthon and Daniel Gee of EDNJ Music Publishing, and we are talking about the ins and outs of being a songwriter here in Nashville. So thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live and also on YouTube channel as well. Thank you. As far as being a publisher here in Nashville, Daniel, do you have you not just getting songs cut for radio hits or anything along those lines, but have you done anything else other than radio cuts or or pitching?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we do a lot of other things, such as a lot of emerging practices, as we call them, in our publishing company. We want to do more than just get the songs out there. I mean, we also want to build Ed, for example, as a songwriter, into even a stronger songwriter. And again, like he said, relationships is a huge thing in this business. And having that relationship with our songwriters, but not only that, with other people in the industry, we can really then push people like Ed to their full potential, like I keep saying, and just doing the other things such as helping them book for gigs, hopefully in the future, or whoever sings the songs as the artist singing Ed's songs, booking their gigs on tours and stuff like that. I mean, we want to just expand as a publishing company, not just, like I said, getting that music out, but doing other things that we can do to really enhance the business itself. So.
Yeah, it's really awesome. That sounds very, very positive. Yeah. So Ed, jump back to you. What do you use, or what is your main instrument?
I play the piano and so the keyboard, and I'm an emerging myself musician. I work very hard at it. I just started actually not so many years ago, and it's something I really love. I love being. I always wanted to have the title musician. I really don't think I've earned it totally yet, so I'm still working on it.
Yeah. No. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and I play out occasionally. My favorite place to play out right now is at Sam Jams and Bobby's Idolire, right there on Music Row. It's a historical place. It's a great venue. The bus drops the tourists off, and Sam is an amazing guy. He's an amazing musician and songwriter, and he heads the show there. It's called Sam Jams on Wednesday at Bobby's Idolire, and it's right on Music Row.
So yeah, you guys out there, definitely check that out if you get a chance. Also, if anyone out there does have any questions, please feel free to ask. We are going about for another 5 minutes here, so.
Yeah, I think one thing I'd like to mention as a songwriter is to all the writer artists out there, and I think if you're listening, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's very difficult in this climate at Nashville. There's a bunch of great artists here, but you came here for your calling, and it's something that's the burning desire inside of you that you have to go out. But it's important to have your game plan together, and like for me, for instance, I'm just a writer. I'm not an artist, and for me, it's important to have the best musicians demo my songs, and my work tapes are just that, they're work tapes. But not being an artist, it's very important for me to get the best musicians out there possible playing for me, and then bring in a demo singer. I was fortunate to have Kaylee and Lo Juarez sing "Oh Bad Balls" for me. She's a great artist in Nashville and highly respected, and just a great person. And to watch whoever you pick as your demo singer come up and perform that for you, it really just brings tears to my eyes.
And you recently had a guy who's on The Voice, too.
Yeah, I have right now Adam Cunningham, who's on The Voice. If y'all are watching it, please vote for him. But Adam is he's a picture perfect example of a demo singer in Nashville, and he's pretty much on I think it's about on 20 of my demos if you go to my site, which I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my site right now, I do have stuff on SongCloud, but my most updated stuff is on Song University, and it's songu.com. It's a university without going to it. I don't work for them or anything, but I'm just a member. But I can tell you, for the price, it's very worthwhile. You can pitch, you can take songs. It is a university. You have some of the best, professionals there teaching and everything. But so my song is on songu.com. Probably the easiest way to look my music up is to spell my name and Google it. So it's Ed Cawthon, Cawthon. If you Google that, my Songu account will come up, and my songs will pop up, and you can peruse them.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So yeah, once again, that's songu.com/Ed Cawthon, EDCAWTHON.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, yeah. So just want to give you guys, if you guys are just joining us, I'm Josh Cross. I'm your host at EDNJ Radio. We have Ed Cawthon and Daniel Gee of EDNJ Music Publishing, and Ed is a BMI songwriter with Warriors Rest, and we are talking about the ins and outs of being a songwriter here in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you guys out there have any questions, shoot them at us. We would love to hear from you guys. Hey Larry, how's it going? Larry, actually, Nukowski, is a songwriter as well, based in Philadelphia. Good guy. And we are here talking about the ins and outs of being a songwriter here in Nashville, Tennessee. And Ed Cawthon is talking about how he became a songwriter and a little bit about his writing process. So it's been really a pleasure.
One point that if anybody out there listening that doesn't live in the Nashville area, one question always comes up is, do I have to live in Nashville to be a songwriter? That's a very good question, and the way to handle that is, at some point, Nashville will call you, I guess I've been told. You'll know in your heart and soul it's time to move. There are things you can do before you get there, and that is, mainly focus on your music and your brand, whether you're artist or writer. But it doesn't mean necessarily you have to move to Nashville at that time, but you're going to want to, because that's where this is the hub of all, great things go on here. So, you at one point you're going to want to write here, you're going to want to perform here, you're going to want to live here, you're going to breathe, live Nashville. But I understand a lot of concerns for people. Well, right now, my job, my family, this and that. Well, that's things to consider. So one thing you can do is join SongU. You can join NSAI. They're international.
And you're originally from...
Well, I'm from Kentucky.
From Kentucky.
Yeah, and Murray is where my farm is right now. And at the time, you can pitch songs from your living room with SongU. There's other sites out there that you can join that allow reputable people and so on. Like Marty Dobson has a site, and they're great, and they pitch songs there, and I use SongU, and you can also, it's a university, you can take classes and mentorships, and so there's a lot of things you can do before you're ready to move to Nashville. But at some point, I think you'll know, and everything, if your calling's that strong, you'll be called to Nashville.
Very, very cool. Very cool. And Daniel, do you feel the same way? As far as, do you have to be a songwriter? Do you have to be in Nashville to be a songwriter?
Absolutely not. I'm actually from Seattle, Washington area, and so that's kind of a trek to come over here to Nashville, Tennessee, and for me, it was all about, I wanted to really do something meaningful in life. I mean, I was working retail and for years in Seattle, and I was just like, this is not really what Ed is saying. It wasn't my calling. I just really didn't feel like this was me. That I didn't want to get up every morning and do this at retail anymore. So I just felt like I wanted to come over. I'm kind of in the same boat with Ed. He's a senior at Belmont, and I'm a senior at Belmont too now, and doing the whole what else is my passion in life, and that was music. I mean, I've always loved music, and especially for me, I really connect with country music. That's what I really like to do, and hearing country music in Seattle was kind of hard to do, sort of, just because it's all about the grunge and stuff like that over there. But I mean, they have great music over there. I'm not knocking them down because obviously I love music. I love pretty much all types, and so but with country music, my calling of needing to move, go do something different, and Nashville just seemed like a perfect fit for me.
And you currently are doing also on the side with tour management as well.
I am, yeah. So I do tour management with Karen Waldrop Music. It's she's an independent artist, and just being basically, actually this weekend I'm actually going with her to touring in Louisiana.
Yeah, you were saying.
And so touring in Louisiana, basically I'm being the person who helps keep her in line and the band there, and making sure we get to our destinations on time. Just really, again, it's all about managing and being organized and putting her as the centerfold though.
And she does a lot of emerging practices as well. She uses a lot of the technology that is out there today, like Spotify and things along those lines.
She does. She uses Spotify. Obviously, she uses like YouTube videos. I mean, that's actually how she became bigger, nowadays. She started off with just, going on Facebook Lives actually and YouTube, putting her YouTube videos up of her singing, and it's kind of really exploded. She gets actually millions of hits now on her songs.
That's awesome.
On YouTube, and it's incredible what I've seen it from almost the ground up now too.
Yeah.
So
that is really cool. Thank you for sharing
It shows what an artist can do with the calling inside. You don't necessarily have to have a record label, or a lot of the publishers are record labels, emerging artist practices, but you can do it on your own. I mean, a lot of people have demonstrated that. I think Kane Brown's come out like that.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing, but it's about being here. I mean, you can't. There's something very energizing about being in Nashville if you're an artist or songwriter. It's great.
So if you are just tuning in, this is EDNJ Radio with your host, Josh Cross. We are currently Facebook Live and as well as YouTube. Hello. And we want to thank you guys for joining us in. We have Ed Cawthon of EDNJ Music Publishing, and being my songwriter as well as member of NSAI and with Warriors Rest. And we have Daniel Gee of EDN Music Publishing talking about songwriting and the ins and outs of being a songwriter here in Nashville. So thank you for joining us. So if anyone out there does have any questions, let us know. We would love to hear from you guys. Definitely. But yeah, we're going to just finish up this podcast here, and I won't keep you guys for much longer. But is there anything else that you want to add as far as any songwriters out there who are, shedding sweat and tears, so to speak? Do you guys have anything that you want to add? Keep it positive.
Yeah, I'll just end with I appreciate being here today, and for all songwriters and artist writers out there, or anybody that wants to be in the music business. As an example, I'll just use one from songwriting that Tony Arana told me in a class at the Bluebird, Steve Seskin's class, that, and it's his slogan is, don't fear rejection. Rejection can do a lot of good things for you. It can really toughen you up, and it can really make you dig down and figure out who you are and what you're going to be, and it makes you just work harder. And I guarantee you here, I could change my name to Ed Cawthon. It just happens. You're going to get a lot of no's, a lot of rejection, but you gotta get through all that. You gotta reach down, and if this is your calling, you'll know it. So don't fear rejection.
That is awesome. That is very awesome. And especially, there's so much noise out there that everyone kind of just wants to say no, almost, because it's not anything that is personal. It's because there's so many artists out there on Spotify. Everyone's trying to do the same thing, that you just have to really bite the bullet and just keep going. If you get kicked down, get right back up. That is definitely a motto for success. And once again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We and also our YouTube followers. Thank you very much, and we'll end with one of Ed's songs, which is Bold Bad Boss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many of y'all have had a bad relationship? Crush, controlled, put down, pushed around.